VonAllen Sports.
Hi, this is tennis player Mariana Dragic, and you're watching VonAllen Sports, real and honest sports analysis. Subscribe now and join the empire. VonAllen Sports, let's go!
Oh man, how's it going?
Hey,
So, you know what? I need to put the names in. So, but I'll do that in a second. So, let's see here. That was interesting. So, guys, Adesanya just won by a 5-round decision. And I don't know about you, but I think that was the worst fight I've ever seen him fight. What do you think?
I don't know if I agree. You just thinking something was either wrong or wasn't putting it all?
Something, and I guess what I mean by, okay, worst might be a bad term. Maybe it's uninspired.
Didn't have the fire.
Yeah,
Didn't
something
have the
was
fire.
wrong. Like even from the very beginning when he came out, he didn't act a certain way, and that we're accustomed to. When he entered the ring, he didn't seem like himself. Between rounds, he was disappointing himself. You could see after the third round when his guys were talking to him, he had this look on his face like, yeah, like something wasn't right there. And like Jesse Back just commented, Whitaker actually thought he won.
Yeah, I don't see that. I don't know how Whitaker could have thought he won that. I know what you're saying, though. I mean, the confidence he had the last time they fought, there was no stopping Izzy, maybe we'll find out he has an injury. Sometimes you find that out the next day, He doesn't want to say anything beforehand, potentially. Or maybe he was just overly concerned that Whitaker could knock him out with one punch, and he was just being extra careful.
Well, was there anything that you picked up on? Did you see him in the video logs, the vlogs, throughout the week, UFC embedded?
Embedded, yes.
Yeah. Did you pick up on anything at all?
Nothing negative, no. He seemed like himself, like he seemed confident. He seemed pretty much the same as always. He's usually pretty cool and relaxed, but no, I didn't notice anything. And I'm pretty good at picking up that stuff when somebody's not at their top game, So,
remember when Amanda Nunes and we were saying something's wrong with her? We could see that in the lead up to the fight.
Yeah, it was obvious with her. I mean, it was basically, we said it, she's more worried about being a celebrity than winning this fight. And sure enough, a couple of days after, that's what she said basically, she doesn't know what was going on in her head, and she didn't have that fire, I don't think that's the case for Israel. I think maybe he had an injury, or maybe he was just very concerned about Whitaker was a really strong dude that could knock him out with one punch, Yeah. It's hard to know. We'll see. I want to see the post-fight stuff later. That might be very telling when they do the post-press conference.
Yeah. Let's see here. When he first, Jesse Beck says, when he first walked out and the crowd booed him, it seemed to hurt his feelings. Did you hear the crowd boo?
I didn't notice.
I thought they were cheering him. I didn't hear a boo.
I thought they were screaming his name when he started this fight. I thought they were saying Adesanya or something. I could be wrong.
Well,
though.
Maybe we missed it.
Yeah.
Or
It's
didn't
possible.
notice.
It's possible.
Where does Izzy rank on the pound for pound best list to you? I guess I'll take that first.
Yeah.
As of right now, I think he's top 10 already, in my opinion.
Pound for pound is the best right now, just not considering weight class, which we don't really. That's that fake.
Oh,
that's what pound.
He
for
means
pound.
that. Okay,
That's what he
I thought he
means.
meant all time.
All time is a little
okay.
bit. It's the GOAT
Well,
question. That's different.
all right, fine. Okay, so pound for pound, where does he rank right now based on that weird criteria, which I don't agree with, but he's probably the best in the UFC, isn't he? So what do you think, Roman?
I would say, well, minus Jones if he hasn't been active, but if he's still fighting.
Yeah, John's not active yet.
Yeah,
he hasn't really announced if he's. We still don't know what's going on with John, right?
Yeah, I think he is the best right now. Usman's on a tear. I'm not even a big Kamaru Usman fan, but you got to give him his credit. He's ripping it up. He's destroying everybody. So he might be second. I don't know. What's the official? Let me look at the pound for pounds. Interested to see. Kamaru Usman's rated 1. Israel's 3. Alexander Volkanovski's number 2. That's crazy. I don't even know much about him. I haven't seen him in a while. Israel, Francis Ngannou's 4. But they got Israel. Well, at least before this fight, it might change potentially. After this fight, we'll see. But he was going into it ranked 3 on the official pound for pound. Usman number 1. So why would Usman be? Doesn't Israel have more defenses over? I think they're about the same, maybe, huh? Over Usman. Not really sure.
Again, this is that argument where I say style matters.
Yeah.
And Usman bores me, honestly, a lot of times. And
yeah, he's getting better at not being boring. 'Cause up until like 4 or 5 fights ago, it was pretty bad. But now he's actually finishing guys. He's earning my respect as far as that goes. But still something about him. I can't jump on board being a big fan of his. Don't know what it is.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I just felt like there's something wrong. Like it wasn't quite there. That's the first Adesanya fight I've ever seen where I was kind of spaced out sometimes.
Yeah, it wasn't
Like-
overly exciting, right?
And maybe it's just we expect so much from
I
him.
think that might be some of it. He's so awesome that you expect fireworks from, but he's a defensive fighter sometimes. He waits for a counter fighter, I should say, not defensive, where he waits for the other guy to make the first move and then counters on that a lot of times, not always, but
Okay. So let's start from the top. Let's start from the fights, the first fights. Actually, let's start with the prelim headliner. Andrei Arlovsky gets another victory. Andrei is old. He's in UFC years way up there. Gets a good victory. It wasn't great. I mean, it wasn't like overwhelming, but his opponent wasn't that good either.
yeah, his opponent was just looking for one big knockout punch. You could tell he didn't have the skill level. So Arlovsky deserved that win for sure.
So let's see who we got here so far. We got Jalen's here, SM down H9. Jesse back is here, Nefertiti. Biden is here. I think, did I pronounce that right? Or was it Biden?
Yeah, that's actually
Was that it?
That was it.
I got it right. Okay,
it.
cool. I will never do that the same way twice. Turbulent Velocity. What's up, Sherry? Thanks, Biden. Appreciate it, man. Come on, man. Mr. A, let's go. What's up? So, and by the way, guys, we could talk football tonight too if y'all want. For the all football fans, it's not. We don't have to just talk MMA because I know
we figured it's Super
tomorrow.
Bowl weekend, so
Yeah.
it might be fitting, huh?
And I might as well just say it now. Don't forget, tomorrow our Super Bowl coverage starts an hour before kickoff. So don't forget to be here for that. I've already set up the video for that, so you can go there and click like or make a comment or whatever you want to do. So with Arlovsky, I'm glad he got the win. I was going for him, especially the other guy. I just don't understand why you would be a young fighter. Give me his name again. The guy who fought Arlovsky.
Let me call it up here because I don't even
When you're
remember.
a young up and comer, why would you be so out of shape? Why would you you would think you would take yourself more seriously? And that bugs me. Like I know Big Country Nelson got away with that for a while, but that was kind of his thing. But
Jared Vandera.
that's right, Bandera. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't.
Yeah,
like that.
I know. It's just not fitting for a pro athlete who works out all day long. It's just kind of odd to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the first fight of the main card.
Bobby Green, that was awesome. I liked him. I like his fight.
He should be pushed to the top more often. Like the fight right before the main, like the third fight in, something like that, somewhere in the middle. He should definitely be there. He was more entertaining. Actually, he was more entertaining tonight than Adesanya was.
He actually was. Yeah,
So-
he was. He's an entertainer as well. If he keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to be up there, very soon. Yeah, he destroyed that guy. He would land 5-6 punches for every time the other guy would land one. It looked like to me,
Yeah, that guy's good, and I've seen him fight before, but tonight was really impressive. A lot more than last time. The last time I saw him fight, but
Man, it's got to be if you're fighting him and a guy has his hands down the whole fight, and you're boxing him and you can't even punch him. How demoralizing must that be?
Well, it's got to drive you crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm fighting someone and they're just like this, like going like that, right? They're not even bothering to do this, and I'm not hitting them. I'm missing them and stuff. Honestly, it's gonna piss me off. But not the kind of piss me off where like the anger piss off where you can do something with it. It's the piss off like you're really annoying me.
Yeah.
And I can't do anything about it.
And then he's I didn't even say his name, Nasrat. He's blocking like this, and Bobby Green's just getting punches right through his hand. It's like quite the opposite, So yeah,
Bobby, he was even getting punches. Yeah, exactly. Right
yeah.
through. So even when he went like that, it didn't matter. But that infuriates me. Okay, that would drive me nuts. And I've seen, it's like in tennis. If you're playing a guy and all of a sudden he starts playing left-handed, and he's still beating you, it's just kind of.
Oh, I see.
It makes you feel like crap,
Right?
You know,
right.
it I don't know.
Well, it's kind of the Anderson Silva thing. He would do that, put his arms down, and he would usually start blocking at the beginning of the fight. He would have his hands up a lot of times, and then once he got that confidence, he'd put him down and just demoralize whoever he's fighting every time. Yeah.
But with Anderson, it was when that didn't work for Anderson Silva and he got knocked out by Chris Weidman.
Right.
Remember what everyone said? Oh, he shouldn't have been doing that. He's clowning around too much. Right. And my reaction and your reaction was, how many fights has he won doing that? He just
won 20 fights, 25 fights in a row by doing that. He did go a little overboard. He even said before that fight that he was tired of everything and didn't really care if he won anymore.
Yeah.
And I think he just was pushing the level of clowning to the next level. But right, exactly. He that got how many times did that make him win a fight? You got to look at it like that. Yeah. Funny thing is, we were watching the Anderson Silva versus Adesanya fight, and he did that to Adesanya, and Adesanya stopped because he started punching him, and he's like, "Put your hands up, man." That was funny, man.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah,
but I mean, Anderson Silva, I've never seen him clown around the way he did against, I think it was Damian Maia.
Oh,
was it Maia?
Dana White got so pissed because he wasn't even fighting. It was
it was ridiculous.
It was like a circus. He was like just running around in circles. Yeah. The ref was warning him to start fighting. That was like literally like a man fighting a little boy or something. How he didn't even have to fight. It was a joke actually. That fight. He was so next level over Maia. It was crazy. And Maia's a great fighter. He does the ground game on him is really actually awesome. He just doesn't have a stand-up game,
What wasn't that the first fight in Abu Dhabi? The first.
Yeah, that's when they built that stadium just for UFC. Yeah.
Turbulent Velocity says to you, Roman, says, "I really like your new music you brought out."
Oh, awesome! Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, check it out. Professional Murder Music. We have a new song called "Please." We just released it a few weeks back. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm going to start incorporating some of that music into future videos and things like that.
Yeah.
And then before we do the show, play a clip as the warm up instead of people just looking at a screen that says waiting. Only why not have the music playing in the something.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
All right. After that, I think it was a very underwhelming, boring fight.
Yeah. Alex Hernandez.
Yeah.
Versus Renato Moicano.
Yeah.
Now that fight,
I wanted to punch that.
I still have a bad taste in my mouth for Alexander Hernandez. Remember when he fought Cowboy? He fought Cowboy a couple of years back, and he came out like this cocky little punk, just like basically talking crap in the wrong way. It was very disrespectful, and Cowboy beat the crap out of him, really beat him down because he was, he had it coming. And that's what I remember that guy for. You got to be careful if you're gonna run your mouth, you got to back it up. You gotta, even if you lose the fight, you could still. Like Connor's lost some fights when he was running his mouth, but he still backed it up with an awesome performance. You can't talk crap, go into a fight and barely land any punches and get your face smashed in. That's pretty embarrassing, right? And I still remember it on this. That's all I remember about that guy. If you're gonna do that, it kind of ruins your whole existence, the way I see it.
Yeah, but tonight, I was going for the Brazilian.
Me too.
Until he started talking.
I don't know what he was. He didn't even let Daniel Cormier even ask a question. He just started rambling, and I was like, and you're doing something on your phone, and about 2 minutes later, you look up, you go, he's still talking.
Yeah, I couldn't stand it, and then it seemed like it went on forever, and he was still talking, and he was talking about nothing, and I was just like, okay, now I kind of wish Hernandez would have won.
I agree.
He turned me against him real quick, and I know that's kind of funny way to decide how you're gonna, But if you're not a fan of
somebody's
them,
annoying, man. It goes a long way.
Yeah. And who's next?
That was the Jared Cannonier versus Derek Brunson. That was actually pretty cool, man. I like that fight.
Okay, so it looked like Brunson was going to take it.
Yep.
He was using a lot of ground game, and even the commentators, freaking Daniel Cormier. I swear I can't stand this guy. He's all happy and excited and giddy. Oh, look at the way he's holding him down and doing nothing. Okay? That's just what Daniel gets off on that. We know that, right? So, and then it got turned around real quick.
It did.
It did. Boom. And I was like, holy crap, what happened?
And that's an important fight. That's the middleweights, and that's they were like number 3 and 4, I think. They were up to, or 2. They were top contenders. So this fight potentially could lead to a title bout coming up in the near future, I'm believing, So, yeah, he wasn't having it. He kept getting up, and it was quite amazing how the commentators got so excited by classic Derek Brunson holding him down. Looked like he was trying to kiss him or something. I don't even know. It's like, dude, I love ground game. I love jiu-jitsu. I love all that stuff. But not when you hold a guy down and try to win by points by basically holding him down. Ultimate man holding competition.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do a ground game or up against Spence, you've got to work.
Yep.
And if you remember, one of the reps, I can't remember who it was, which one it was, but broke up the heavyweights.
I think it was Dan Mergliato.
Yeah, Lewis.
Yeah.
And
they were just kind of. Well, actually, did you hear? I think it was one of the commentators. I don't know if it was Daniel Cormier or the other guy. They basically they was cheering that on. He goes, "Oh, this is great. Tai Tuivasa is holding Derek against the ring where he's not in danger." Okay, so he's saying he shouldn't fight. That was absolutely absurd.
I think that was Bisman. I think that was Bisman that said that.
Who? Oh, Mike.
Bisman.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Yeah. It was him, and it was like, come on, man. And then 3 seconds later, the ref broke it up and put him back in the center, which was awesome. That fight, man, I loved it. I actually really liked that fight.
Now, when Derek Lewis got knocked out, elbow to the head, side of the head, he actually, once it hit him, you could see his face on the replay.
Oh yeah.
He fell asleep, like unconscious.
Instantly, yeah.
On the way down.
Right.
And then when he hit the ground, his whole body just flopped, and he was asleep, like sleepy time.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I was going for Lewis.
Of course.
And but you know what? Tai Tuivasa took that, man. He deserved the win. I like him too. I like both guys, but he won it fair and square, and he went through the storm in that first round, huh?
I just didn't want to watch him drink beer out of
that's actually kind of half the reason I didn't want him to win. Yeah. And I wanted to see Derek Lewis give his Octagon interview. It's always funny.
Yeah, maybe he throws his cup in the
last fight.
The crowd again. So
But that brings Tai Tuivasa. I think he was ranked 11th. That brings him up to number 3, I believe.
So is that how it works?
Generally,
you take over that guy's spot.
Yeah, you move up. So if they're 11 and he's 3 and you win, you move up to 3 and he goes down to 4 generally, and everybody else kind of goes down by 1.
Yeah, but you go all the way from 11.
If you fight somebody, yes, you do. You go all the way up. If you fight a top ranked guy, you go right up. Basically, take their position. Everybody moves down 1.
40th. And if you're a fill-in and you beat a second-ranked guy, you're going to be...
I think it's happened before, yeah.
Wow.
Same as if you fought the champion and you were 40th with fill-in, you would be the champion, yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
Makes sense because you beat number 2. You're number 2. You know what I mean? So.
But like in tennis, it doesn't work like that. You have ranking numbers.
You get
same
points,
way,
kind of,
but you get points.
Oh, okay.
Based on, and it's not even who you beat. It's each tournament has a certain points that it gives you, and it's a rolling thing, which is something that I proposed that we should do for MMA this year.
Right.
Remember, we should have a rolling ranking. I think that'd be interesting.
Kind of see how accurate that is.
A real one.
Predicting where everybody's going to fall. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
But overall, I'd say just as a complete UFC, kind of underwhelming tonight. Nothing really blew me away, to be honest with you.
Really? I loved the Derek Lewis, Tai Tuivasa, and the Bobby Green fight. I think those two were pretty exceptional. What I liked about the Lewis fight, he actually took Tuivasa down, which is not his normal thing. But what did he do when he got to the ground? Did he lay there and try to kiss him? No. He started pounding on him like I've never seen.
Yeah.
Right. And then Tai started getting up, and he landed at least 5 punches. So he didn't even care. So it wasn't that crap of just holding a guy down. He took him down with reason and intent, and followed through on it.
Well, does where does Lewis go now? I mean, he's not going to get a title shot, is he? So that sends him right back.
Well, he just he had that title shot to was for the interim, I believe, the Cyril Gain that he lost to a couple fights ago, right?
Yeah.
So I doubt it. He's probably going to if he's going to keep going, he's going to have at least a couple more wins, top guys, to get another title shot.
That's 9 fights in a row. I believe I deserve a title shot. Yeah. Speedy 1287 says I was really pulling for Whitaker. But Whitaker thought he won, so.
I like Whitaker. I mean, I just like Israel more. I think Robert Whitaker lacks excitement. When he was up and coming, he was pretty damn awesome. He was tearing up through the whole division, and I think it doesn't have that excitement. Israel is an entertainer. He fights flawlessly in general. Again, a little less fire tonight, but. No wasted movements. That's MMA fighting right there. There's no this random brawling. If you want to see an MMA, if it's like John Jones, Anderson Silva, same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, like Speedy 1287 said, I'm sorry, you're mad right now. Said anime wins again, and
yeah,
you could tell that he's a big fan of the anime thing.
Exactly.
He almost acts like a superhero. Speedy 1287 says I'm kind of crushed, to be honest, because 2 losses to the current champion is rough. He's one of my favorites. Yeah, it's rough, but it's not a bad look as far as, in my opinion, and we talked about this earlier tonight, Roman, is that I said I would rather lose to someone great than take a loss to somebody who doesn't even matter. Like you want to win. It's kind of like the old, I would rather go to a Super Bowl and lose than not get to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
And I know a lot of people who would say otherwise because of the loss of losing the Super Bowl. And I don't understand that logic. You still got to the Super Bowl. That's
there.
Still
right.
Actually getting there is harder. Okay. Well, for Whitaker to get the title shot, he had to, how many fights did he have to win?
He's won like 3 or 4 in a row.
Yeah, you've got to go on a run, right?
Exactly.
So you would think theoretically getting that title fight is harder. Getting to it is harder than actually the fight itself and winning it. Or, whatever happens. So, in my opinion, I think it's better to, if you're going to lose, like nobody wants to lose, but if you're going to lose, it needs to be to someone who's great and someone that it's not, like, damn, what happened there, Yeah,
well, really in that division, you have, I think Israel's beat them all. Marvin Vittori, Jared Cannonier, he's potential, can get a title shot coming up. He's a new blood up there, right? As far as top contenders. Other than that, I think Whitaker is kind of ahead of all these guys. So,
well, who would be next for Adesanya now?
Maybe Cannonier. He just fought Marvin Vittori and beat him. So I don't see that. He's ranked number 2, but I don't see that happening just because they just fought.
Yeah, no.
It's got to be Cannonier. I'm assuming that he ready to beat Costa. Strickland's number 6 now, so he's moving up, but he's maybe one more fight away from a title shot.
Has Cannonier fought Izzy before?
No. So that's new blood up there. That's what I'm saying. So
nice.
That could potentially be a good one. And we've seen tonight he's a strong fighter.
Yeah. So Adesanya's Speedy. Adesanya's length is so strong and his feints are absolutely brilliant. And that's the thing. We were talking about this tonight. We said if Izzy keeps going, if he just keeps winning and goes on a tear like Silva and John Jones and stuff like that, Izzy eventually could be the GOAT one day. Like he could. I'm not saying he's going to be. I'm not doing that. I'm saying trajectory if he stays on this.
Exactly. He is. Yeah.
So
his only loss was when he moved up to light heavyweight,
which no one cares.
And he didn't even get destroyed. He just got held down for a few rounds. So that's different, so I don't count that in his middleweight. Obviously it's not. So yeah, if he keeps going, if another few years of this, he could be up there. Absolutely. Jason never sleeps.
What the hell? What? Where are you? What? Why are you in the comments? Jason Never Sleeps
heard
says
of that guy.
Strickland is hard to hit.
Yeah. We should be talking about that with Jason Never Sleeps right now, right?
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, Strickland, how funny was that post-fight interview we watched last night? How awesome was that? A guy that just does not care. That's awesome, man.
I'll be honest with you. He reminds me of my brother.
Mm-hmm.
And not Jason, of course, but Steven. And you know Steven pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
But if Steven was ever an MMA fighter, he would be that guy. He would be saying all that stuff like exactly the way he says it.
Right.
It's so funny, man.
Yeah, guys, check that out. The Sean Strickland post-fight interview. Type in and just from the last weekend. It's funny.
Yeah,
he goes
good.
off. Yeah, and he says stuff that most people, any other sport, you'd be canceled, I guess, right? And he, I don't think he has to worry about it in the UFC. It's nice to see people that not bowing down to all this kind of stuff.
As long
right?
as Dana is running the UFC.
Yeah, well, he's owned by big companies, so let's talk about that story.
Oh,
Joe Rogan scheduling conflicts. Wow, I seen that. Everybody, many people probably. Joe Rogan's gonna be doing the next one, 272. Nothing's. I see that. I'm like, you kidding me, man? That's not how it works. What did he forget? He forgot to check his notes. He talks about fighting. That's what that guy does. Joe Rogan knows. There's no scheduling conflicts. They said, I'm assuming, but I'm sure that was said because they didn't want the whole controversy. Joe Rogan, I don't want to call it controversy because there is no controversy.
Yeah.
It's a made up thing, but it's out there. They didn't want that to overshadow the fight. I'm assuming that makes sense. And but if they pull Joe Rogan, I'm gonna have a serious problem with the UFC. If they because of that, I don't think they will. There's no way.
Well, I don't believe for a second, like you said, I don't believe for a second that it was a scheduling conflict. That's just a good way to say it.
Yeah.
Especially, he's not going to miss an event in Texas. He lives in Austin.
Yeah.
The event's in Houston. You wouldn't miss that. It's with right during this whole thing. It's got to be ESPN and Disney that did it.
Yeah, pretty sure. And Dana probably compromised on, okay, I'll pull him from this one.
For one.
And everybody in the world has about a 3-minute memory retention. And so they're going to forget about it and everything will be okay as long as CNN or whatever is not saying this guy's bad. It'll be fine by, a month from now, potentially. We'll see what happens.
What's so ridiculous about all this is that Joe Rogan has done nothing wrong.
Absolutely nothing.
He's done nothing wrong. This is stupid.
Absolutely nothing wrong.
I don't.
If you think he did something wrong, I think there's something wrong with you because watch his show. If you watch it, you got to watch his show and watch his podcast. He talks to all people, and they don't always agree with him. It's not like he's just handpicking. He's just people that agree with him.
No, he interviews everybody.
Yeah, he had the official CNN doctor on, and they had a 3-hour conversation. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, and let that guy just ramble on all of his fake news. And that's the real fake news. And let it ramble on all of his fake news. And okay, fine. But then he had another guy who was against that and was saying different things. And he was able to say whatever he wanted and talk how he wanted. So he has everybody on. Joe Rogan has had doctors, athletes, singers, musicians, conspiracy theorists, alien people, Alex Jones, okay? He has had every type of person from every walk of life you can imagine.
And like I said, a lot of them disagree with Joe Rogan on many things. Like the whole thing is them just disagreeing. So it's not one side. And he has 3-hour conversations. It's unedited. It's not like they're just handpicking highlights. They're 3 hours of just whoever it is talking in depth, and you get he's not leading us down any path. He's trying to find out, and like they said, sometimes he's wrong, but he's not trying to mislead us. It's never his intention, and I give him all respect for that. He's it's crazy. I never thought. I'm watching this fighting for how many years now. You ever think that Joe Rogan is going to be the #1 media guy in the world? Basically, that's crazy, and it's awesome.
Never,
it's so awesome.
But that just shows you how people are changing too and getting fed up with bullshit.
Yeah.
So, people are getting tired of the the same crap all the time and the same people. And people are appreciating realists and being, just putting yourself out there. And listen.
Well, you could tell. You could tell when somebody is misleading you. And again, sometimes you could be wrong, but it's different. Lying to you and misleading you purposely and being wrong is two completely different things. He's always genuine with what he's saying, it feels like,
Right. I understand that someone can be wrong about something. A journalist or something could get wrong information, or maybe they made a mistake and published the wrong info. That happens, obviously. Okay? But this is different. This is knowingly reporting things that you don't, or that aren't real, or that you didn't verify. That's what you should be worried about, not what Joe's doing. And Joe is not the news.
He's not even claiming to be the news. That's the crazy thing about it. He's just
right.
A guy that talks to people and gives you, lets you make your decision. He's not, the news goes on and say, this is what it is. This is the facts. Joe Rogan tries to get information for 3 hours from a guy. That's a whole different thing, man. And that's why people like it. And people are embracing that, because we didn't have that opportunity to learn with information, 10, 20 years ago. It didn't exist like that in the way it does now.
Well, that's what they're scared of. They're losing their grip on all of us, because we've got so many options now, and they want to destroy these people.
Well, when you see the ratings for all the news versus him, it's probably pretty scary to those people,
Yeah. Well, you've got Elon Musk, who everybody follows now, and nobody's listening to the regular people, the normal people that were popular before. Like, people don't care about a singer's opinion or an actor's opinion. Nobody cares anymore about that. People are going towards, people who have actually achieved something legitimate,
exactly.
Like Elon, or, Joe Rogan's a cool show, or Jordan Peterson, or someone like that.
Absolutely.
Somebody who's got a good resume and actually a good track record of doing something for actual humanity and not being a total piece of garbage.
Speaking of Jordan Peterson, how can anybody think negatively of that guy? You might not like what he says. You might, but first he's a psychologist. He's brilliant. He reads hundreds and hundreds of books, that guy, all the time. He's so brilliant. And his intent in life is to help people. That's what he does. There's nothing negative comes out of that. Negative things come out of his mouth, but he tries to help people with it. He really tries to make you see reality.
Right.
And he's being a psychologist, he has a lot of hands-on experience bettering people's lives. How could you the problems that people are, imaginary problems with him, are so bizarre to me. They really are,
Yeah, Speedy says if Rogan gets mad, if Rogan gets pulled, I'm gonna be mad. Says, I feel like the people that are a part of this cancel culture just have too much time on their hands. It's so childish.
I would say if Rogan gets pulled, I'd say the UFC is going to probably go down by a third in one day. I don't think I'll
just
be able to.
In principle.
It's going to be hard to watch. I don't know I don't even think I could watch it anymore. For a while, at least, I would be so mad if they pulled him over this stuff because he didn't do anything. I don't think they will. I can't see that happening.
Yeah. Well.
Because at the end of the day, these big corporations, it's still about money for them. They don't care about race. They don't care about gender. That's not their motive. It's money at the end of the day. And they put up their little signs and their little banners and act like heroes. But literally, some of these companies would put up, kill everybody if that was going to make them money. You know what I mean? I'm not even exaggerating here.
Well, I used to think that, and I noticed something happening where companies were not going with what the market says, or what their fan base says, or what their customer base says. And I'm not saying that they're going to do it in this case, but I'm just saying that in the recent past, the last few years, I've seen where companies are willing to piss off their fan base and customer base.
It is happening more.
In order to push an ideology.
Yes.
And with the UFC contract with Disney, you just never know.
I agree. So, I do see that. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
But it seems like some of those companies are coming back around. Some of the ones you're talking about. You know what I mean? you can only push it so far. If they're really it's gonna tank their company. At the end of the day, they gotta go. We can't do this anymore. I would hope, I mean, just like with all this stuff that's going on with all the social media and stuff, new companies are probably going to be coming about because of it.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
So and can't come fast enough. So
Right. Exactly.
like
And so they don't want to lose that business. They don't. At some point, they gotta. I know that it's politics and rich owners of these companies. It's all tied together, obviously, to an extent.
well, if they hadn't given Joe Rogan $100 million, they would have pulled him by now.
Yeah.
So that at least that means that they're following the money in that sense, and that's all I want from companies. Just do what the market tells you to do. Do what your customer base tells you to do. Do what the profit says, and then it's okay because you're going by the standard of business and capitalism. That's exactly how it works. You're supposed to do that, but a lot of companies were starting to turn to ideology over profit, and that is why I started to get a little nervous. Like what's happening here? Why? We're going to.
Well, at least the NFL doesn't do that, right?
Oh God.
I heard your rant the other night, which was quite awesome, about Washington Redskins or whatever you might want to call them.
The DC Lizard people.
Commanders.
Washington Commandos.
Yeah, it is. They do have such a legacy, that team, and to pull that, and like you summed it up, you can't have any mascots or anybody that's not white. Basically, that's really what they're saying at the end of the day. That's quite ridiculous and the opposite of what they're saying. Why they're doing
right.
it.
If anything that's non-white is cultural appropriation, then that means the only thing you can have is white stuff.
Yeah.
Isn't that white supremacy in a nutshell?
Hard.
I'm just curious. Like,
and how do people not see that? We can't have cartoon characters that are this or Mexican or this. It's tribute. It's not making fun of these people. They're not making fun of Indians or Native Americans. It's kind of a tribute, I thought. It's
definitely a tribute.
Yeah.
Like I've said before, when I was a kid, I learned about Indian culture through the university.
Yeah.
There's not a major city, but a bigger town where I grew up called Jonesboro, and there was the university, Arkansas State, and they're called the ASU Indians at the time, and everything was Indian influence. So the library was named after, it was Indian. The bookstore was called the Teepee. The lunchroom was called the Wigwam. Everything was themed. The museum was filled and themed with Indian culture and history. Everything we learned or knew about Indian history, we learned a lot of that going on field trips to that university. Okay, and the mascot was Indians. So when you watched a football game there, the whole Indian culture was interwoven into it. Well, someone got offended, I guess, and changed the name to Red Wolves. Okay, what is that?
Right.
That's stupid.
Who was really offended? It's funny how you'll have terms for terminologies or for hundreds of years or however many years, and then suddenly people are offended by it. I mean, look, I don't know if everybody noticed this, but up until 5 years ago, it was starting to become not correct to say black person. You notice that? And then everybody would, African American, and then everybody would correct themselves, and then suddenly they stopped that. It seemed like when Black Lives Matter came out, I don't know, but it seemed like very odd that why was that bad? Now then they flipped it again, and it wasn't bad anymore. Suddenly it's how does that stuff even? Who says this? Who's making these rules? Who was offended by being called white or black or any? I don't even want to think about race.
I think they just make up this stuff, and
it is made up. It is. That's the point. It's all made up, and it's most people. There might be a very small percentage, but I think most people just do not care about that kind of stuff. You don't want to think about race. People are people, and that's it.
People are people. That's a song by Depeche Mode.
Of course.
People are people. All right. Thank you, Nefertiti. Nefertiti. Oh, that's good. I love that sound. Oh yeah. Some people watch naughty films. I listen to recordings of people opening up
Oh my God.
Coca-Colas.
You are weird.
Oh yeah. The best is when I get to use this thing. Tyree Vaughn sent this to me, and I get to pop open a bottle. But right now, for some unknown reason I can't figure out, there's a supply issue, and I can't get a hold of my glass Cokes that I like. I don't know what's causing that or why. I have a good idea, but we're not going to get into that. So it's not weird. Bitcoin Motorist is here. What's up, Patrick? He says, you can only have white cartoon characters now.
Yep.
That's true.
No, like Speedy Gonzalez and all these other
What about white ghosts?
White goats?
white goats.
Ghosts.
Ghosts.
Oh, Ghost.
Yeah.
Yes. So only white people are come back from the dead. Did you know that?
Or is it black people become white when they're there? I don't even understand. Yeah, that's never really thought about that before.
That's racist.
Yeah, that's racist. It doesn't make any sense. Why are ghosts all white?
Well, you know, in Lord of the Rings, when that wizard Gandalf dies,
Yeah.
he came back even whiter. See, when he died, he was Gandalf the Grey, but when he died, or when he was alive, he was Gandalf the Grey, but when he died, he came back as Gandalf the White. And he was wearing nothing but white,
Okay.
with white hair. Like, he literally died and came back whiter. So, that's... Wait. Lord of the Rings, that's not historical? So, I mean, like, how far down the rabbit hole are we
Yeah,
going here?
exactly.
So, it's just stupid. So,
No, but I agree with you. You mentioned on your last show how they're going to come for all the teams, all the anything. Eventually, is going to become. You can make anything offensive in one way or another. I mean, over time, you make it up. It's all made up. It really is.
well, you could name any team, and I could come up with something.
Yeah.
You know, that's ridiculous. There's something stupid that you could get offended by.
I still, it's hard for me to believe that story, and I looked it up. You told me about it, and about PETA coming down on the bullpen in baseball. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's absurd.
Yeah. I don't think anyone who's ever watched baseball has ever thought about it like
And
that.
anybody who cares about animals, which I do and you do, you can't even put it in the words. I can't even.
Dude,
It's ridiculous.
I'm a huge animal person.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so bad that I don't even believe in zoos. Okay. That's how hardcore I am about, you know, as far as like
That's
keeping
why-
them in.
That's why I can't believe the
cages and
story is
stuff.
real. It
But
looks like it's a real story, but
I
it's
still
it's
never
absurd.
noticed
Right.
that the bullpen was offensive. Like it never.
It just doesn't
occurred to
seem
me.
like I keep looking up the exact possibly that got to be a fake story, you know. But I don't think it is. It's the scary part.
Biden says, yeah, I feel like BLM, feminism, SJW, trans, LGBTQ, etc., therefore, so forth and so on, are all under the umbrella of an incredibly corrosive and toxic ideology that morphed to far more than their name implies. They truly believe, and depends on the individual, they lie about how bad it is. Of course, and what I think these things are for is some of it's to make money, other things are to divide people and keep us all fighting with each other while they do whatever they want and keep us against each other. So,
Yep.
but it looks like that's kind of going away. It's like I'm glad you mentioned the LGBTQ. I know a lot of gay people, especially here in LA. Not one of them, not one. And I can't speak for you, Roman, but I've never met one that was a crazy activist. Like
No.
a psycho crazy
No,
activist. I've never met one.
No.
So who are these people that are, like, we need this, we need, like,
They don't really speak for the groups.
Yeah,
you know?
who is
I
doing
don't
this?
believe they really speak for the groups.
that's what I'm saying. It's insane. So, so. Divide and conquer? Is that what you just wrote?
Yeah.
Divide and conquer? I like that.
That's what they do, right? Divide and conquer. And
Although they better come after Strickland.
yeah.
So. Yeah, I got it.
I talked about the cake.
What?
We've all
Talked
said
about
what?
the cake. And when I want the cake. I want to divide and conquer.
The cake?
A cake. All right. So, yeah, guys. So don't forget we have the football show that starts an hour before kickoff tomorrow. Don't stop fighting, you two. Ramsey's just bit Izzy in the ass. Nice. Bitcoin Motor says they had to call tens of thousands of restaurants until they found one that said they wouldn't cater a gay wedding. Yes, exactly. Somebody was looking for that. Somebody was trying to find that. So it's what we can be offended with next. And what I find most interesting about all these things is going back to the cultural appropriation about names and things like that. It's people like us who are trying to keep cultures involved. We're trying to keep that history. We're trying to keep that going, you know? And they're trying to take it away. And I just think that's interesting that people don't look at it, you know, in that direction anymore.
Yeah.
But what the next UFC, UFC 272, we've got Colby Covington versus Jorge Masvidal.
That's going to be great, yeah.
You said something tonight that was kind of interesting that I never thought about. You proposed the idea that maybe they're not enemies. Do you want to expand on that a little bit?
It's hard to think that, because there's videos of them living together and being really good friends, and it's really hard to think that they became such enemies like overnight. It seemed like it happened very quickly, and there was no like big event, like there wasn't like a girl or a fight or something involved in the between. It's just like suddenly they stopped liking each other, and now they like bitter, horrible rival. You know, they don't like each other at all. Like they talk crap, like they hated each other. And these guys were training and living together for years. It could be potentially. I mean, I don't know if it's real or not, you know. But I'll tell you, either way, it's entertaining. I love it.
I think it would be brilliant if they did do that.
That is brilliant, huh?
Mm-hmm. And one of them decided to be the bad guy, and you know, obviously Colby is the bad guy in this situation, right?
Right.
And Masvidal is the, like in wrestling terms, it's heel and face. You know, the heel is the bad guy.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know, but either way, they're entertaining us, and I think it's going to be an awesome fight. The fight's going to be great, regardless if they like each other or hate each other. I don't think it's going to matter.
Who do you think's going to win that?
I think Covington. Masvidal, he's awesome. I'm probably going for Masvidal. I think I like him a little bit better, but I think Colby is pretty damn awesome. Kamaru Usman, I mean, those were close fights, those last two fights. Huh?
Remember what John Jones said about Colby Covington? Like,
well, he said he's a bad person,
crazy. Like he's got, you know, problems, but so does John. But he said some
couple people said that
pretty hardcore
Colby.
things about Colby. But then, and if that's true, then it is believable that he would have a beef with someone who's his friend.
But then other people say that it's a made up character, the whole thing.
And we've thought that before.
And I've seen him, videos of him like with fans and stuff, and he seems like just a normal, cool dude, you know?
Well, that's what I'm saying. When I see him behind the scenes or interviews and stuff, he like not interviews on UFC where he's in that character, but I'm talking about like where he's just being normal, not trying so hard. It seems like when he does do those crazy things on camera, it comes off as acting.
Yeah, well, it definitely. I mean, he knows that he's pushing. Obviously, he's pushing it to an extreme. But is some of it real? I don't know. You know what I mean? And hey, who's a couple of the most popular fighters in the UFC right now? Covington, Masvidal, because of this stuff. You know, it would be really hard to take that character because Jorge is just himself. You could tell. He's legit. You know what I mean? And I guess. Talking about millions and millions of dollars from potentially getting. At one point he was almost cut from the UFC because he was considered boring. And then overnight he kind of flipped into this character.
You mean Masvidal or Colby?
Colby, and it must be tough to do that. They have everybody hate you, or at least appear to hate you. But
at the same time, it works.
If it sets up your life, where you don't have to ever worry about working again for the rest of your life. I guess it could be worth it, huh?
So, who you guys got winning the Super Bowl tomorrow? I'm not going to answer that until tomorrow, so you got to wait to see who I pick.
You're not going
tomorrow.
to answer that?
Just a little curious. Huh?
You're not going to answer that till tomorrow?
Not not tonight.
Yeah.
Jason Never Sleeps says Masvidal is faking a character too. Although I've not really seen much of a character at all with him.
Yeah, in what aspect?
I don't. But maybe he is.
Well, he puts on a little show for the camera, but he seems like what he's saying is very genuine as far as like political views and his, upbringing and everything.
We're talking about that aspect.
I don't know if that's what he's talking about.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know what he's talking about exactly, but maybe.
Biden Beluja says Bengals. Bitcoin Motorist says Rams going to win and cover. Interesting. Boy, the NFL really needs a Rams victory tomorrow, don't they? I mean, that would be really good for them. So
we live in a city that doesn't care about their football team. What is that? Has that ever happened before? What's up with that? So many people don't care about the Rams that live here. It's really bizarre.
So many people don't even know the Rams are here. That's even worse.
It's like any other state or city in the United States. That doesn't happen. People love their football team. Here, it's not like that. It looked like it was probably even amount of 49er fans at the game out here, right?
Yeah. This is a Raiders town, and then second 49ers town.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a Rams town. Rams never won anything here while they were here. The only time the Rams won a Super Bowl was in St. Louis.
Yeah.
So, and the Chargers, no one knows the Chargers are here. Nobody. No. Like, they have no idea. They barely know the Rams were here. When the Rams went to the Super Bowl a few years ago, they had to pay extras to come and cheer on the team on their send away to the Super Bowl. Of course, I just want to mention that they lost to the Patriots. Thank you very much.
Wait, are the Chargers are in L.A. or San Diego? I don't even know this. Are you kidding me?
Thank you for making my point.
They are in L.A. now.
Yes.
I didn't know.
Yes.
I don't follow football like you. I've watched the games with you, but...
Yeah, but that's pathetic.
I live in the city.
Not you, but them.
How does that even... How do I live in a city and not know the football team? That's pretty crazy, man.
It's because no one cares, and it was a stupid idea. It was a stupid idea.
Do they play out of the same stadium? Or... I don't even know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they share the stadium, but it's the Rams that really host it.
Wow. That's pretty crazy.
Jason mentions about Masvidal. He wears a
robe.
Oh,
I know. Yeah.
While wearing Tony Montana persona.
Yeah, I know.
I forgot about that.
He gets a little jokey at times. Yeah, that part is absolutely he's playing up to the camera. But when you hear him talking in interviews and stuff, as far as like, especially political and his beliefs, he seems genuine. Where you don't know with Colby how much he believes. Is that all an act, or does he really feel the way he does?
I think he probably feels that way, but he's going overboard.
I think so.
Like going over the top with it.
I thought that was silly actually when Masvidal wore that robe. But it didn't seem genuine. It seemed like he was trying to play it up.
What's funny is I forgot about that.
I did too. Yeah, I'd agree with you though. That was kind of gimmicky.
Biden Bullish says, "Yeah, the Rams Chargers ownership should be happy. They have good franchises because they're. I'm sorry." The Rams Chargers ownership should be happy that they have good franchises because those owners are trash, especially for the Chargers. Absolutely. The Spanoses who own the Chargers are just terrible at running a team. And Stan Kroenke, who owns the Rams, is just a total piece of shit person. Mm-hmm. Just a horrible person. And I wouldn't put it past him to pay off some people to give him whatever he needs because now we don't know. With the NFL, we found out that a coach is, claiming that the owner of the Dolphins paid him to tank a game or tank the season and lose games on purpose. And
why did they want to do that
to get a number one draft pick?
Yeah. Didn't you say that happened with the Colts or something a while back?
Yeah, the Colts quit on purpose in 2011, and everyone knows it. They even had a name for it. It was called Suck for Luck. Because Luck was the last name of the player that they were wanting to get, Andrew Luck.
And how many was it? Just one game or a couple of games?
You have to lose a bunch of games. You have to have a terrible record. Like you have to go. Well, back then it was like 2-14. 1-15, 2-14, 13. Like really awful record. You have to have the worst record in the league.
And let me ask, how many people on the team, would they all know this? Would it just be the couple top guys? Or like how many people would be
No,
involved
the
with-
players would never know. The players would never
Okay,
know.
They wouldn't
Like,
know. Okay,
yeah.
that's what I was wondering. Like, how deep does this have to go?
You would just the coach calling wrong plays on purpose or not putting in the right game plan. So let's say that you're playing a team that is strong against the run. Okay, so you go in and you do the exact opposite.
So I take it.
So
it's pretty obvious when you see this stuff after a while. Like you can make a couple of bad calls, but if you keep doing it, it's pretty obvious, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that must be tough to actually.
That's what
pull
happened in
off.
2019. So the first I can't remember exactly, first 7 or 8 games of 2019, every week I was yelling on my show, the Dolphins are tanking, the Dolphins are tanking. You know, and there were some people, you know, who said, no, they just suck. They're just really that bad. I said, they are not this bad. I know what a bad team looks like. I can tell if a team is just garbage. They were losing on purpose. I yelled about this constantly, and I ended up being right. So the NFL investigated them later in the season. And right after the investigation, boom, they started winning games magically.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And now, here we are years later, and the coach at the time, Brian Flores, is now saying that the owner offered him $100,000 per game to lose on purpose in 2019, the year that I'm referring to.
Right.
So see, we all knew, because when you watch football long enough, you can tell the difference. You know, you can see the difference, and we knew this with the Colts as well. It was the same thing. So. Just call me Blah. Yeah, but I kind of like saying your full name. Yeah. All right, guys. So don't forget tomorrow. Is there anything else you want to cover, Roman?
No, I think we covered it all.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m. on the East Coast,
Yeah,
but
I know.
tonight's event went a little late, or it seemed like it did.
Yeah.
Don't forget, you guys, tomorrow we'll be here 2:30 Pacific, that's 5:30 Eastern, to get you guys ready for the Super Bowl. And
Well, we'll mention the next one of these. We're talking about potentially changing our timing of the pre and post show.
sure.
So maybe a couple days before do the pre-show, and then maybe the post-show the next day. Because that way it's not 2 a.m. on the East Coast and everything. I
Right.
think
So we were talking about for the MMA, for the UFC, we considered the pregame show is actually like on a Wednesday,
Wednesday,
or
early
Wednesday
evening,
before the Saturday.
Yep.
And then the results are on Sunday or Monday, at least while football season's not in season.
And then we'll figure it out.
And we'll figure it out after that.
Yeah.
So, all right, cool. Thank you
Awesome.
guys for being here tonight. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll see you tomorrow then. Okay? Let's go.
Hi, this is tennis player Mariana Dragic, and you're watching VonAllen Sports, real and honest sports analysis. Subscribe now and join the empire. VonAllen Sports, let's go!
VonAllen Sports.